Hello everybody, I'm Coach Sonny and I'm going to walk you through making a simple collect game in Scratch. So right now I have the Scratch website open and I'm going to add a background. I'm going to choose an underwater background and then I'm going to add a sprite, a fish sprite like that. I'm going to get rid of the scratchy sprite because I'm going to use my fish. And then I'm going to add another sprite, which is going to be some food. And we all know that fish obviously eat donuts. So I'm going to choose a donut for my food item. So this game is going to consist of the fish collecting donuts. And I also want to have like some sort of score that goes up each time I collect a donut. Right now the donut is kind of big, so I'm going to make it small by doing the following. So I have this block, and then if I choose the donut, let me get it again. I can click on it and it grows, but I want to make it smaller. So instead of doing 10, I'll do -10. And then when I click it, it'll become smaller. So that's about a good size. I don't need this block anymore, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And the first thing I'm gonna code is the ability for my fish to move. You can do that by going to the the events menu and getting one of these blocks. It says when space key pressed, I'm going to zoom in real quick, do something. So I'm going to choose up arrow. So I'm going to use up, down, left, and right arrows to be my movement keys. Right there. So right now they won't have any code. I'm just setting it up so I can put code later. The simplest way to do this is to make it so that the fish moves up when you press the up arrow. And there's a little trick. If you see over here, right now the fish is at -172 and then it's at -125. If I move the fish, those numbers are going to move, right? And if you pay attention, if the fish goes up, the y value becomes greater. So I can use that information and then I can go to over here to the motion blocks and get one of these blocks. Change y by 10. That means that whenever I press up in my keyboard, it'll make the y value grow by 10. So -12, -2, 8, 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, like that. I can do the same thing. Well, not the same exact same thing, the opposite for when I press the down key. Instead of changing it by 10, I'll move it by -10 to go down. Just like that. Let's test it. So now I'm up and down. That works. Perfect. I can hold the key down and it'll keep moving like that. So that's great. And now when the fish moves to the right, the x value increases. So over here, I'm going to do change x by 10, and then for the left, I'll do -10, like that. So now let's see. So up, down, left, right. Perfect. So now I have my key movement all ready to go. Now I want to add code to the donut. So I'm going to click on the donut sprite down here. So all the code I added only to the fish, not the donut. The donut's going to have a different kind of code. And what the donut needs is to somehow, whenever the fish touches the donut, it'll do two things. It'll give you a point, and then it will choose a random location for the donut to go. That way you can like go fetch it again, and like it'll just keep moving in random positions until you decide to stop playing. Let's start building that code. So the first thing I want to do is check whenever the fish touches the donut. You go to the sensing menu and you get one of these blocks. Touching, right now it says mouse pointer, but I want to click on the drop down and select fish. So whenever the fish touches the donut, something will happen. And usually in coding, you use an if statement to ask the question. Under events, actually controls, sorry, there's a if then, and you can see the shape is very similar to this, and you just put it in there. If touching fish, then do something. So whenever you touch the donut, the fish touches the donut, it'll do something, and that something is gonna be give you a point and move to a random position. For the random position, you can go to the motion blocks and simply get the go to random position, just like that. This needs to be attached to some sort of thing that triggers it, and we can use our when green flag clicked. Now let's touch or test this real quick. So I'm gonna press on the green flag. I'm gonna move my fish, and then watch what happens when the donut is touched by the fish. Nothing happened because we're missing something. So whenever you click on the green flag, it'll run this as soon as you click the green flag. So if it's the fish is not touching the donut, nothing will happen. But look, if I put the fish right here and then I press the green flag, it'll change the position because it's asking if it happened now, but it doesn't ask again. So we want it to keep asking if the fish is touching the donut. To do that, we need to add a forever loop around the if. That means when I click the green flag, forever, like don't stop, always ask if the fish is touching the donut. So now, if I touch it, it'll move. And then I do it again, it'll move like that. The last thing I want to do is give myself a point, give the fish a point or the player. For that, we need to create a variable to keep count. I'm going to make a variable. I'm going to call it donuts. Oops, donuts. Gonna click OK, and then automatically, if you check this box, it'll put like the scoreboard in your game. And I want to change donuts by 1 each time the fish touches the donut. So then let's try it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. There's only one thing missing, and it's the following. If you want to restart the game, you would press the green flag, but the counter does not reset. It starts off at the same position. So you can grab this block and put it right under the flag, not inside the forever, just outside. So whenever you click on the green flag, it'll set donuts to 0, and then you can start from scratch. Get it? Cool. So that's how you create a very simple collect game. Collect game with 2 sprites. The sprite that's being collected is the one that has the code for the sensing when the other sprite touches it, and also controls the score. And the main character just has the code to move. So that's it for this video assignment. Go ahead and submit your answers below with a different kind of code. You can change the sprites, make it move faster, give yourself more points, maybe have a second sprite that gives you more points or something like that. Okay? This is Coach Sonny. Thanks for watching.